I've decided moving forward to do more travel and street portraiture. I typically carry this little guy around with me. It's a lovely little LED with these light modifiers which are magnetic, and this is perfect if I need a little bit of fill light or shooting something like food in a restaurant. But I'm not going to illuminate an entire person with this effectively. I also have this little guy which is a 40 watt. This is good for headshots, but it's not going to illuminate an entire person in a dark environment. But there's a new product on the market. This is all Harlowe lights. They've just brought out this little puppy, and it is fabulous. It's 120 watt light, and it kicks out so much power. I can shoot pretty much whatever I want in the darkest of conditions with this light. And it comes with a very small, light carbon fiber stand and a little carry bag and a very easy to use softbox. So I thought I'd put it to the test. My friend Dan was over from Australia for a couple of weeks. He's a musician. We made a film and we're touring together. We're doing screenings across Canada and we had a day off. So I thought we'd pop down to Toronto to a dark, gritty back street, an alleyway, and give this a go. The thing I like about this Harlowe lighting kit is it's very small and it's very light, and I can pack everything into this lovely little padded carry case. It's very convenient. It is. That's all you do. Take this off. So this kicks out 10,000 lumens, and you can very conveniently carry a couple of these battery packs and you're all set. Okay, so if you're looking over that way, you want to be looking at this corner here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a little bit of Rembrandt lighting. Keep looking at that corner. I'm going to lock the focus on this, and when I say move, if you can grab it and move over there. So I'm going to have to, first of all, I've just got to make sure we've got our lighting right. So just face directly at me. Drop your chin. You're looking, there's some attitude going on here. Tiny bit more with the light there. Looking at me, that's really nice. Yeah. Fantastic. That's really good. So because I put Dan in the center of the frame, that creates importance. When you put an object in the center of the frame, you're giving them a sense of importance, and you're really putting the focus on them. And by putting the camera low, I'm making him dominant. He's looking down at me, so there's a sense of power there. What I've gone for is a very classic Rembrandt lighting, very high contrast, and the second shot, I locked the focus on the first shot with Dan in the frame. And then he moved out of the way quickly, and I didn't move, and because I had my focus locked, fired off another frame without the light in the frame, and just blend those two together in Photoshop. A little bit of editing, perfect photo. So for this next shot, I've positioned Dan further back, and we've got these garbage bins full of graffiti. So if I get low to the ground and shoot wide at about 24 millimeters, he's surrounded by graffiti, which I think is really cool. So it's very dark in there. So I've got two choices, and The choice that I would normally go for is choice 2, but I'm going to shoot choice 1 and choice 2 to demonstrate this. Choice 1 is the temptation to put the light to the right hand side of the frame, because we've got natural light coming in from the left. So his right side is dark. So by putting in the light on the right side, I'm creating a bit more balance, and I'm going to make him pop a bit more against the dark background. Choice 2 is exaggerating the natural light and putting the light off camera to the left there and creating basically more sunlight so we can illuminate his face a little bit more. So let's do both of those choices and I'll show you both, and let me know in the comments which you prefer. This light is balancing you out quite nicely, maybe a little bit too much. Again, we're going to need to do a move once I've got the...
You want me then that way?
Yeah, you need to come over here.
With the light?
Yes, please. And drop your chin a bit. And move. And keep going. Perfect. So here's the shot with Dan and the light in place. Here's a shot where Dan has walked out of the frame, taking the light with him. And here's the blended final version. I really didn't like this shot because Dan's face was just too evenly lit. The light was flat, and also it's just such a busy shot. The graffiti everywhere and him, he's sort of getting lost. It's not really a good shot. I don't like it. The lighting kit isn't that heavy and there's enough room in the bag to fit a tripod, but I wanted to keep the weight down and I didn't want to take a tripod, although I really needed one because my idea was to take 2 shots and blend them together in Photoshop. 2 shots because I wanted to get the light source very close to Dan so I could get a very high contrast lighting effect, very much like Renaissance painters used to do. But because I need to get the light source so close, the light was in the shot. So what I did was take the shot with the light and then got Dan to move the light out of the way and himself, and I got another blank shot so I could blend the 2 together. Had to be very careful not to move too much when I took that second shot, and it was quite successful, as you can see. That's a technique I've used for many years now. It's my little secret, so don't tell anybody. And let's just do a close-up while we're here. This shot is better because I've actually got some dimension to Dan now, with having a light source from one direction. It also makes a little bit more sense because we know there's enough light coming from the left that we know there is a natural light source or some kind of light source. So all I'm doing is enhancing that to get some dramatic lighting. Whereas doing it the other way, everything's flat, you sort of wonder, well, where's the light coming from the right? Because it's otherwise dark over there. But it's still not quite working for me. Too busy. The last shot of our little session, we moved location and we were really using natural light rather than the LED lighting. That was a pretty quick photo session. The kit is small, easy to carry. That gives you an idea of some of the things that you can do. So the graffiti made for quite a busy shot. There are a couple of things that I could have done had we had more time to play. The first thing would be to use a shallower depth of field to create some separation between Dan and the busy background. Well, I did do that with a couple of the closer portraits. I could have used depth of field for the wider shots too, but you've got to be careful because then you start to lose context if you're going to blur the background too much. And this is my least favorite way of creating separation. I think probably because it's just too obvious. Everybody does it. Everybody goes out and buys an f1.2 lens and just shoots wide open, and it's like, oh, look at this. No, that's not my thing. What I would have preferred to have done is take this light and a little magic arm or something, or another tripod, and use this, put it behind Dan and create a bit of a sort of rim light. That will make him pop. That will give a bit of separation. That's my preference, but I didn't because we were limited on time and, well, limited on time really. Here's my favorite image from the day. Would you agree with my choice? Let me know in the comments. See you next time.